watching Alaska's news source.
And welcome back. Nick Danger has lived a life, and he's not done yet. The former WWF pro wrestler stays busy setting world records and now being the good guy. Here at the 907 Alaska Pro Wrestling Training Gym in Anchorage, there's so much joy in watching former pro wrestler Nick Danger.
And then my pro wrestling state license from Oregon. I also had one for...
Reminisce, thumbing through a notebook of career memories.
So this is my book. I got all kinds of wrestling history in here.
Almost a decade in the 90s of Danger and familiar famous faces.
So here's a picture of me with The Undertaker and the Big Boss Man. That was The Undertaker's very first wrestling match. Earthquake and Typhoon, the largest tag team in the history of the world, over 1,000 pounds between them. So, and I was 300 pounds in the middle, so that's 1,300 pounds of flesh.
So how did Nick Danger get into pro wrestling? Kind of like a movie.
So here's what happened. I was working out at Gold's Gym over on Arctic Boulevard, and I was at the time benching about 625 pounds.
It was 1990 and pro wrestlers were in Anchorage for a match working out.
Macho Man Randy Savage came up to me and he said, "Boy, kid, that's a great bench press." He goes, "Have you ever thought about professional wrestling?" And I said, "No, I try to avoid it as much as I can, so leave me alone, I'm working out." So he walked away.
So a year passed and another invitation, and this time Nick took the offer.
So I flew to New Jersey and started in the school, and 8 weeks later I graduated and was offered a contract for the WWF.
And that started a 9-year career of being the fall guy.
So you wrestled all the time, but you always lost. But you were the bad guy, so that's...
Nick was good at being the bad guy. He retired in 2010, but at 70, he's still dangerous.
I am like the strongest old man in the world, apparently, so I've had for the last 8 years, I've had the state, national, and world record for my weight category and age.
396-pound bench press. Impressive, kind of like his story of his famous coworker, wrestler Randy the Macho Man Savage.
I was on tour with Randy Savage, and everybody knows, "Hey, I'm Randy Savage, brother, what's going on?" And we always said, you know what, this has got to be a gimmick, this voice thing. So we went into his room at 3 o'clock in the morning and woke him up until there was a fire to see what his voice was, and by God, it was the same voice. So we were like, what? Okay, we quit. It's you, man. Good for you.
Well, we decided to do our own version of comedians riding in cars getting coffee with a twist.
Can I get a chop for the road?
Yeah, and then whenever you want to go to the ring, we can do that too. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks. I didn't hurt you, did I?
No.
Because you gotta kind of do a little bit.
I needed a slap in the head.
Yeah, no, thank you.
You can do one more?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do one more.
And Nick, he was kind enough to humor my next question.
So, Nick, I've always wanted to know, is wrestling fake?
Come on, Dave. You and me got to go to the ring, okay?
No, that was pretty real.
So we went to the ring to get it on.
Nick Danger, Deadly Dave Allgood. This match is for the AWA World Heavyweight title. Are you ready, gentlemen?
I'm ready.
All right, let's make it happen.
Woo! Yeah.
We want a good, clean match. I don't want to see none of this, Dave.
Okay, none of that.
All right?
None of that.
All right.
What else?
And Nick, I don't want to see any of this. Keep it clean.
But first, it was time for some all-good mind games.
Well, look at those little cheeky poos. Somebody's a Nick Danger. You're so dangerous, it's gonna hurt Davey Allgood. Now I'm gonna stooge him. Hey, Mo! Oh! Referee!
I'm gonna get his nose.
Got your nose!
Oh, referee, that's a foul.
It's okay,
Get
Nick.
rid of
He
him.
can put it back.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, here we go.
Nick was tiring of my shenanigans.
Hey, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
Oh, yes, I would. Now, there you go. Yeah.
Holy shnikes. He would and he did. Then he took me for a little spin. He's 70? What?
Hey, Four Eyes, what do you think about wrestling now, brother?
It's real. And to be so dangerous, Nick, he's a pretty good guy.
Nick Danger, everybody.
Nick, you're a superstar.
Thank you. I'm retired.
Nick, like his vintage Corvette, is a classic guy. And that's the All Good News. Oh my God, he is such a nice guy. He's done so many things, Boy Scout leader. He's been here since 1984, I think, or 78. And although Nick does not like to talk about it, I did want to mention he's a decorated Vietnam vet, the recipient of, get this, 2 Purple Hearts. Oh, and he's a car guy. In addition to that classic Corvette we were in, he has 2 Hummers and a Cadillac Escalade to boot. So, all right, thanks again to him. All right, here's